Good morning, everybody. It's Barb Katie, and I'm alive, alert, and enthusiastic about this new week that is just starting for us here. It's good to see all of you and to share in the beginning of a brand new week and look at all of its possibilities and potential as it begins to unfold in front of us. And I wonder just how much of an active player we are in each of our days, how much we just go through the motions, or how much we really try to direct some of the activities and experiences that we're going to have through the week. Um, just a random thought as we get started this morning. Uh, these first 12 weeks of the new year of 2023, which many have said this is the year for me, is about self care and some of the things we can do to make sure that we're taking good care of ourselves so that we're the best we can be at whatever stage we are, to live our lives as fully as we can and to make a difference uh, uh, as much as we can. Uh, with that in mind, just a quick recap of the last 7 weeks of the new year. We talked about finding a way to move just 10 extra minutes every day. And hopefully, you began that and you're still keeping up with it and finding a way every day to move just a little bit more. We talked about maybe eating more veggies in our meal plans and ways that we can introduce more vegetables in a more simple way. A lot of fresh vegetables are so readily available throughout all the seasons. They don't just have to be the summer vegetables that we so much enjoy that come fresh out of the garden. Um, I know I should have had a V8 comes to mind as I'm talking to you right now, because that is a nice drink that is filled with a mix of all kinds of vegetables and can be pretty handy and easily accessed whenever. We talked about taking time to just breathe and deeply fill our lungs with oxygen and exhale fully, just for maybe 2 or 3 minutes every day or throughout the day when you need a little bit of a break. Um, I find that that pause is one that really does refresh you when you take just a moment to relax and deep breathe. We talked about looking at two blessings that we have, two things we're grateful for at the start of every day or at the end of every day. Uh, we talked about keeping our environment in which we work and live organized, so that when we need something, it's easy to find. Doesn't have to be pristine or anything, but tidy it up so it's comfortable to be able to use everything that you need and wish to have available to you at any given time. We also talked about just taking a moment to get up and stretch. Uh, I know one of the things I love to do in the morning when I wake up is laying down in the bed is to just stretch like a cat. Just it feels so delicious. And yes, I say the word delicious because that's what it feels like to me, is delicious. And throughout the day, just scrunching your shoulders up a little bit, taking the time to move a little, and it just absolutely stretch gently from time to time throughout the day. And we last week we talked about making sure we drank enough water to make sure we remained hydrated and that everything was functioning properly because we were getting enough uh, fluid in to replace fluid used and expelled, uh, which is always essential for good health, and just to make sure that the equipment is operating as it should. And this week, what we're talking about is something that absolutely is one of the easiest things in the world to do. And yet, I think we do it automatically a lot of times and don't even think we're doing it. And that is just to take a moment and get a breath of fresh air. And the picture behind me right now that you're seeing is one I took, probably about an hour and a half, uh, not quite 2 hours ago. But it is a picture out my door, looking at the mountain, which is, my primary view every single day when I wake up. And as you can see here in my home, it's a cloudy day. The sun comes right up over that mountain in the bottom left corner and gets quite bright. It's out right now, in fact, and it's lit everything up. But when I got up this morning and had finished doing the things in the house, I went out and just stood on the deck, took a picture, and took a few breaths of fresh air and was nothing but quiet. My goodness, there's a world going on if you just take a moment, just a moment. The first thing that I heard were the birds that are the brave, hardier birds that are beginning to come back to the north. And it wasn't terribly cold today. It was 27 when I was out there, which is, Fahrenheit, which is not a bad temperature at all. Everything had frosted, of course, but the frost will be melting off pretty quickly. And the day promises to get up into the mid 50s, maybe even a little bit higher, depending on how bright the sun is. So it's going to be a very pleasant day. But I took a few minutes to just be aware of the world around me this morning. I think sometimes we are so focused on the list of things that we have to accomplish for the day that very often we don't take that moment just to center ourselves and be aware. The first thing after I heard the birds, I began to notice where the birds were. And I looked to my right up in the oak tree that's on the that side of my property. And there was the red hawk. He's there almost every morning, just up there watching, surveying the landscape, probably looking for breakfast if you want to know the truth. But there he was. He's probably there every single morning or in proximity to that. But not every morning do I go out on the deck and take a few moments and appreciate the fact that he's there. Wasn't too long after I had spotted the hawk that two very noisy crows came into the tree that's right behind me that you can see in the picture. And they were chitter chatter in a way, quite loud, quite vocal. And all of a sudden, they were joined by 6 other crows. Apparently, they had plans for the day and they were congregating to make sure everybody knew what he was supposed to do. Yes, it's an anthropomorphism. I know that. I'm putting human traits on animals, but my imagination was having a good time, and I thought, well, I can pretty much tell who's in charge of this crew because it was the one on the tallest branch that was squawking the loudest, and that made me smile and laugh. Then just a few moments later, here comes a cardinal, a male cardinal, and he is not happy that other birds are in his territory, and he's squawking at the crows, trying to tell them to get out, that this is his territory. And I thought, that's not going to work because crows are not going to listen to you, Buster, no matter how bright and beautiful you are. They just are unimpressed with you. And after a little bit, the crows flew off to do whatever they were doing for the day, and the female cardinal appeared. I think it might be a little early to be starting nesting, but what am I to say? I don't know the habits of cardinals that well. So I'm just standing there. And it's amazing to me. I thought, everybody's pretty busy this morning in the animal kingdom when a bunny came out from under my shed. Yes, I have a she shed, but it's not a fancy she shed. It's a working shed. And out they came. And I see them every day, but I take them for granted. I don't really appreciate them like I should. And they always bring me happiness. They always make me smile. There they come. And as I'm watching them, I hear rustling in the leaves underneath the tree, and there's a squirrel, a little brown squirrel. And he's busily ferreting around through the leaves. I don't know what he was looking for, but apparently he was successful because he quickly ran back up the tree into the hole where he lives for most of the year. Wasn't long after that, I heard a rapid tapping, and I looked up and there was a woodpecker. I mean, there was a huge amount of activity just in that small section of my backyard that probably goes on almost the same way every day. But I never take the time to step outside, to take a breath of fresh air and be still and absorb my surroundings. I miss so much that way. And that really gave me pause today. As we go through our lives, are we going just from task to task to task? Or are we taking time to stop and appreciate what goes on around us? If you will, the old cliche, stop and smell the roses. For today, I think that's going to be my mission. I am going to try to make sure that I stop during the day, take a break, focus on my present surroundings, and appreciate everything that's going on. I don't know how many of you look at Doug and Yvonne's pictures every day when they go out on their walks. But I get such pleasure as they go through their walk and appreciate the sights and sounds that unfold before them. It's a wonderful opportunity to center yourself in the moment and appreciate where you are, what is going on around you, what you hope to accomplish, who you are, and what you're striving to achieve. So that breath of fresh air this morning has started me off on an absolutely positive look at the week that will be unfolding ahead of me. And I hope that even though the sky may be a little gray or a little gloomy where you are, that you know that it won't be long until the sun is shining and the day will become brighter and brighter, and your outlook will become brighter and brighter as well as you move through it, filling your lungs with fresh air and hopefully your heart with fresh hope and your mind with a fresh outlook. This is a gift I've been given today, a new beginning every single morning. And it's a gift I don't always appreciate as fully as I should. So I'm sharing this breath of fresh air with you. And I hope that your day will start off in a positive way as well. And it's going to be a great week if we make it so. I will talk to you later. Have a good one now. Bye bye.